This old, scratched 5-cent coin looks like nothing more than spare change, but one rare example sold for thousands of dollars. The shocking part, 1963 Jefferson nickel doesn't look like the kind of coin that could make anyone rich. It's small, common, and usually covered with decades of scratches, stains, and dull gray color. Most people wouldn't even bend down to pick one up if they saw it on the sidewalk. But that's exactly why so many valuable examples have been overlooked. Every year, collectors discover 1963 nickels hiding in old jars, forgotten drawers, and pocket change that turn out to be worth far more than just 5 cents. The year 1963 marked the final full year before enormous changes swept across American coinage. Millions of Jefferson nickels were produced, and they entered circulation across the country. Families used them for groceries, bus fares, vending machines, and everyday purchases. Over more than 60 years, most became heavily worn. Many were scratched, dirty, or stained, making them appear almost worthless. Yet experienced collectors know that appearance alone doesn't determine value. The first thing you should check is the date. Make sure it clearly reads 1963. Then look on the front of the coin, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait. You'll find a small mint mark, or possibly no mint mark at all. A D means it was struck in Denver, while no mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. Both can be collectible depending on their condition and any unusual features they may have. Now take a closer look at the coin's overall condition. Even if it's dirty or dark, don't clean it. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Cleaning a coin can permanently damage its surface and reduce its value. Collectors often prefer an original, naturally aged coin over one that's been polished until it shines. That old gray color may actually be a sign that the coin has remained untouched for decades. Next, examine the details on Jefferson's hair and face. On ordinary circulated nickels, these details become smooth after years of use. But if your coin still has sharp lines in the hair, a clear eye, and crisp lettering around the edge, it may have seen very little circulation. Coins with strong original detail are much harder to find because most 1963 nickels were used every day for years. Turn the coin over and study Monticello, Jefferson's famous home. This is where many collectors focus their attention. Look carefully at the steps leading up to the building. On the finest examples, these steps appear complete and well defined. Collectors often call these full steps nickels. They are much scarcer than ordinary examples because even tiny imperfections during production could weaken the design. A genuine full steps 1963 nickel in outstanding condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Also inspect the lettering on the reverse. The words should be sharp and easy to read. If the letters appear doubled or unusual, your coin may have a striking variety that collectors actively seek. Even small differences can make a coin much more desirable when verified by experts. Don't ignore strange-looking coins. If your nickel appears slightly off-center, has missing design elements, or shows unusual doubling, don't assume it's damaged. Some mint errors happened during production and escaped into circulation. These mistakes are often far rarer than normal coins and can command impressive prices. Many people believe only shiny, perfect coins are valuable. That's simply not true. Some valuable 1963 Jefferson nickels look worn, dark, or even dirty after decades of circulation. What matters most is whether the coin has rare characteristics, exceptional detail, or a desirable mint error. A coin that looks ordinary to one person may immediately catch the attention of an experienced collector. Stories like this happen more often than people realize. Someone empties an old piggy bank, inherits a coin collection, or finds a handful of nickels in a kitchen drawer. Most are worth face value, but occasionally one special coin changes everything. That's why collectors carefully inspect every old nickel instead of spending it without a second thought. If you think you found an unusual 1963 Jefferson nickel, store it safely. Hold it only by the edges, avoid cleaning it, and place it in a protective holder if possible. If it appears to have exceptional detail, full steps, or a possible mint error, consider having it evaluated by a reputable coin grading service. Professional authentication can make a significant difference if the coin proves to be genuinely rare. Next up, coin. 1994 Jefferson nickel. Today, you'd probably toss it into a change jar without giving it a second thought. After all, it's only worth 5 cents, or is it? Hidden among the millions of ordinary 1994 nickels are a handful of coins that collectors eagerly search for, and some have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The amazing part is that many of these valuable coins don't look special at first glance. They can appear scratched, dull, dirty, or heavily circulated, making them easy to overlook. The first thing to do is confirm the date. Make sure the coin clearly reads 1994. Then check the front of the coin, just to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait, for the mint mark. A D indicates it was struck in Denver, while an S is a proof coin made in San Francisco. If there is no mint mark, the coin was produced in Philadelphia. Each mint produced coins with different characteristics, and certain examples are much more desirable than others. Now resist the temptation to clean the coin. Many people think polishing an old nickel will increase its value, but the opposite is true. Collectors prefer coins with their original surfaces, even if they look dark or dirty. Cleaning can leave tiny scratches and permanently reduce the coin's collector value. Next, study Jefferson's portrait carefully. If the hair, eye, cheek, and lettering remain sharp despite the coin's age, it may have spent very little time in circulation. High-grade coins from 1994 are much harder to find because most entered everyday commerce and quickly became worn from decades of use. Turn the coin over and inspect Monticello on the reverse. This is where some of the most valuable 1994 nickels stand out. Look closely at the steps leading to the building. On rare, well-struck examples, the steps are fully visible and clearly separated. These are known among collectors as full steps nickels. They are significantly scarcer than ordinary coins because even slight production issues could blur the design. A certified 1994 full steps nickel in exceptional condition has brought impressive prices at auction. Also pay attention to the lettering and overall strike quality. If the words appear unusually sharp or you notice doubled letters, unusual spacing, or parts of the design that seem different from normal, you could be looking at a collectible variety or mint error. Errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or other production mistakes are always worth a closer look because collectors actively search for them. Don't dismiss a coin simply because it has scratches or natural discoloration. A valuable mint error can still be worth a premium even if the coin has seen circulation. What matters most is whether it has a rare feature that separates it from the millions of normal 1994 nickels. Many exciting discoveries happen in the most ordinary places. A forgotten coin jar in the garage, an old piggy bank, or loose change from a grocery store can contain a hidden treasure. Most people never examine their nickels closely, which is why valuable examples continue to circulate unnoticed. If your 1994 Jefferson nickel appears unusual, protect it carefully. Hold it only by the edges, avoid rubbing the surfaces, and place it in a coin holder. If you believe it has full steps, a possible mint error, or exceptionally sharp details, consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service. Verification can make a major difference if the coin proves to be rare. Okay, bye guys.